Fifth grade, chapter 7, lesson 5, compare fraction factors and products. Unlock the problem. Multiplication can be taught as resizing one number by another number. For example, 2 times 3 will result in a product that is 2 times as great as 3. What happens to the size of a product when a number is multiplied by a fraction rather than a whole number? One way, use a model. During the week, the Smith family ate 3/4 of a box of cereal. Shade the model to show 3/4 of the box of cereal. So how many of those 4 pieces are we going to shade?
3.
3. Write an expression for 3/4 of one box of cereal. So 3/4 times what number? 1. Will the product be equal to, greater than, or less than 1?
Greater. No, less than.
Less than 1, because was this whole thing even 1? No. So less than 1. The Lane family has 4 boxes of cereal. They ate 3/4 of all the cereal during the week. Shade the model to show 3/4 of the 4 boxes of cereal. So how many of those am I going to color in, guys?
3.
3 of each box, right? Write an expression for 3/4 of 4 boxes of cereal. So we would take 3/4 times
1.
how many boxes do we have, guys?
4.
4. Will the product be equal to, greater than, or less than 4?
Less than.
It'd be less than 4, because did we get all of these boxes colored in?
No.
No, there were still pieces left. So less than 4. The Carter family has only half of a box of cereal at the beginning of the week. They ate 3/4 of the half box of cereal. Shade the model to show 3/4 of half a box of cereal. So basically, we're going to lightly shade, with your pencils, you're going to lightly shade half of it, right guys? And so half of that gets us how many boxes? 4, right? 4 of the 8. Then you are going to shade how many of those 4 boxes darker? 3 of the 4, right? So I have a different color, but you're just going to shade it darker. Write an expression to show 3/4 of 1/2 of a box of cereal. So you take 3/4 times 1/2, right? Will the product be equal to, greater than, or less than 1/2? So will it be greater than or equal to, or greater than, equal to, or less than 1/2? What do you guys think? Okay, it would be less than 1/2, right? Because 1/2 right here, is it, does that blue equal even that half? No. Okay, 3/4. So 3/4 of these 8, does that blue equal 3/4 of those 8? No. So the product would be?
Less than 1/2.
Well, it would be less than both factors, right? The product would be less than both factors. Another way, use a diagram. You can use a diagram to show the relationship between the products when a fraction is multiplied or scaled by a number. First of all, they say 1 times 3/4, and it says to locate 3/4 on the diagram and shade that distance from 0. So each from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, how many sections are those broken up into?
4.
4. So they want us to shade 3/4. So we go from here to here would be 3/4. Now, if we jumped back, we go back from here to here. or we move from 0 to 3/4. You wouldn't necessarily have to put the arrow on it. Then for 1/2 and 3/4, how much is 3/4? 3 tack marks, right? Oh, hold on. You go 3/4, so we drew our little section. Now what is half of 3/4? We draw a little dot right in the center. So if we were going to jump from those places, it would only jump this much. So that would be considered what? Less, right? 4 times 3/4. So once again, we are going to mark our 3/4. So each time we do a loop, we go here. How many little tack marks do I move each time? 3. So then I would go 1, 2, 3. So my next loop would go right here. And then, so we move 3 more spots. So 1, 2, 3. And how many loops do I need to have, guys?
4.
4. And then 1, 2, 3. So I end up being right here. Complete each statement with equal to, greater than, or less than. The product of 1 and 3/4 will be what to 3/4?
Greater.
Anything times 1 equals itself, right? So this one would be considered equal to. The product of a number less than 1, so up here, half was less than 1, will be less than 3/4, and what of the other factor? What was this, guys? Was it pretty small too? Because here's half, and our dot is still on the left side of the half. So was it equal to or greater than? No, it was less than. The product of a number greater than 1 and 3/4 will be greater than 3/4 because we looped over here. And here is our 3/4 and our dot's clear over here at 3, so that was greater than. And blanked another factor. So when we ended, we got over here to the 3, but is 3 larger than 4? No, so then it was less than the other factor. Share and show. Complete the statement with equal to, greater than, or less than. So 4 times 7/8 will be something of 7/8. So here they showed us, they marked out 7/8 with our line, and then they looped it over to where it'll actually be. So it will be in between the 3 and the 4. So basically, they have the 7/8 and the 7/8. So we're looking at the 4. So is the number going to be greater than 7/8, or is it going to be less than 7/8? Greater than 7/8. Because the 4 is greater than 1. 3/5 times 2/7 will be either greater than, equal to, or less than 3/5. So they want to know, so basically the 3/5 kind of cancel each other out, right? We're going to look at the 2/7. So is that going to be, is 2/7 greater than 1 or less than 1? Less than 1. So since it's already less than 1, then it's going to have to be less than 3/5. 5/8 times 6 will be something of 5/8. So what kind of cancels each other out in this case? The 5/8. So we're looking at the 6. So is 6 higher or lower than 1?
Higher.
Higher. So then that means it's going to be greater than. Number 4, 2/3 times 5/5 will be something of 2/3. So the 2/3 kind of cancel each other out, right? So what are we looking at? The 5/5. What is 5/5 also equivalent to? 1. So if it's less than 1, then it'll be less than. If it's more than 1, it'll be greater than. But if it happens to be 1, it will be equal to. Eight times 7/8 will be something of 8. What is kind of canceling each other out in this case? The 8. So we're going to look at the 7/8. So what will our wording be?
Less than.
Less than. Because of course all we were doing is we were taking a part of it, right? Because 7/8 was less than 1, so we were only going to be taking a part of it, not the whole thing.